If you continue attracting shitty people into your life, or the ex that you've said you don't want to be with, but he keeps coming back, it's because you don't know how to honor yourself. Whatever you're feeling inside manifests in your physical reality. So if you feel like shit, you're going to attract a shitty partner. If you don't feel like you love yourself, you're not going to attract love to your life. You have to have a conviction within you for what you want, the courage to move beyond it and not worry about the logic in order to go create the things that you want to create or have the things that you want to have in this life. So when you respect and honor the physical, meaning your body, the earth, this 3D planet we're on, that's when you are blessed by the invisible. Hello, you guys. Welcome to this week's episode of the Expand and Evolve podcast. Today, I wanted to share just a quick recap about my recent Miami Awaken. I've been to 6+ events, I feel like now. I've gone to so many. I've joined Inner Circle. I've gone so deep in this work, and I find I keep going back to Awaken because I find it holds me to the highest standard within myself. And it almost feels like maintenance to stay in an aligned path of choosing to continue moving forward with my highest self, if that makes sense. So just as an example, like I can come home sometimes and I fall back into routine and I fall back into habits and I fall back into patterns that it's really easy to settle back into my comfort zone of like what I do at home without holding myself to the higher standard of like creating the thing that I know I'm meant to create, or doing the thing I know I'm meant to do, or seeing more abundance for myself, or more money for myself, or the relationship that I dream of, or the health that I dream of. Like I can fall back into settling. And I find when I go to Awaken and go to events like this, it holds me to that deeper knowing and vision I have within myself. But sometimes I need a reminder. And that's where I feel I get when I'm at events like Awaken. And the reason I continue to go back is because I continue to be a different person every single time I've been there. I'm a different version of myself, which means the information, the things that are shared, the breath work that I move through, the people I'm connected to, the people that I meet are different every single time. And I feel it's such a direct reflection of where you currently are. Like you can hear the same information multiple times, but when you are in a different space yourself, you hear it different. So even though something could be said the exact same thing, 2 years, like when I heard it the first time versus when I've heard it now, it's hitting me different. It's reaching me different because of where I'm at on my own journey, if that makes sense. And so I wanted to share some of my teachings because I know sometimes you guys love these episodes. I just drop the wisdom bombs that I've learned. And the first thing I wanted to share that I just noticed, I'm going to read through some of these notes and then just kind of like riff off of what I can remember. But was that he continued to say this the whole 3 days, was like courage and conviction beyond logic. And I just recorded an episode. I'm doing 2 back to back. I recorded one about the school and how cool it's like, no, you have to have a conviction within you for what you want, the courage to move beyond it and not worry about the logic in order to go create the things that you want to create or have the things that you want to have in this life. And when he first said that, it hit me. I was like, you need to delete your apps and trust. So when I say delete the apps, I still had dating apps. Okay. And I've known I need to delete them. But in the beginning, I had the dating apps because I was like, you know what? Maybe by not having them, I'm not open. I need to show that I'm open to all possibilities and potentialities. Right. And over the last few months, I'm like, the only time I check these apps are when I'm bored. The only time I look at these is when I have a minute, which is rare. Or if I'm feeling like a moment of like, oh, it'd be nice to have a partner. And I like go look. And I was like, ew, what kind of energy is that? I fully, truly believe we send frequency through our phones. So the frequency you're in when you send a text, when you send a message, when you reply for a business reach out, for example, when you're messaging someone and you're messaging back and forth and it's like a guy that you're talking to or whatever, right? I feel that frequency is felt through the phone. We can feel it. That's when people try to be like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, I can feel your energy through the phone. Like, yes, you did. And so anyways, I really feel that we can feel that. And I was like, what kind of frequency am I sending? And what type of partner am I going to attract if I only look at these when I'm bored? And I just didn't like the feeling. And like, I don't even like the idea of checking them. And to me, it feels like a distraction. And for me, I was like, what am I saying about my trust and faith in the universe to think I need to use this thing and go looking and searching and scrolling rather than trusting that like, it's all figured out. Like they'll land in my life when it's meant to, and there's literally nothing I have to do for it. And so I was at this place of courage and conviction beyond logic that like, it's going to come into my life when it's meant to. I don't need to be out here wasting time looking for it. And so anyways, I deleted the dating apps. Felt so good. And so I just saw that page as I was moving through this. And I wanted to share this little piece too, because I think this is really, really valuable. where, okay, so one sec. Let me just look at what this says. So it was just talking about how you have to envision what you want. And when you decide that you're worthy of it and willing to pay the price for it, that don't be surprised if like you have to or other things have to remove anyone from your life who is blocking you from that thing, and trusting that like anyone who needs to be removed is meant to be removed, and trusting that. And in your purpose of life is everything that has ever happened to you. So really seeing that your purpose on this planet, you have to see that every single experience you have ever had up until this point is building you, giving you the tools, giving you the structure, giving you the experience to get you to that place where you can go fulfill your purpose. And I think to think that you're living out your purpose by 25, 23, 35 is crazy. It is something that's ever building and changing. So to think that you're going to be doing the exact same thing for life is nuts. Like you're going to change, you're going to evolve as a person, and trusting and allowing that to happen as it's meant to. Like I just recorded this episode about the school. I never thought when I went to school and went to university and went through that traditional education system, went and got the degree, got the good grades, got the A+, that I would come to a place where I'm like, I honestly feel like school is almost like useless. A lot of the stuff that we learn, right? I'm like, I didn't need any of that garbage to do what I'm doing now, but there was benefit in me going to school and learning that process and doing it the traditional way for me to understand what worked, what didn't work, the pieces that I found valuable, the pieces I didn't find valuable. Me going and getting a traditional 9 to 5, I had to see what that was like for me to be like, no, there's got to be another way. I never saw it as a waste that I went to university, got a degree for 4 years. My parents spent all that money. Like I always knew I would eventually make it up to them for going to school and like them spending that money. And I have, if not more so, because I've become so much more successful outside of that thing. So I didn't force myself to go stay in school in a job that I hate. Like I finished my school, but like to stay in the job that I hated because I went to school for it. I was like, no, this is not my passion. This is not what's fulfilling me. I need to have the courage and conviction beyond logic to go move and do the thing that I feel the most passionate and pulled to do, which was at the time fitness and nutrition. Who knew that back then me learning fitness and nutrition would help me understand the immense importance of the body, of our health, of connection to food, of nourishing and nurturing our bodies. Like that's a major component of life that thank God I went and learned that. But it's not my life passion. But at the time I thought it was. I thought it was what I was meant to do forever. Then you bring in network marketing, which I ended up building a network marketing business. It's what taught me about business and money and leading people and building a team and building influence and supporting others and like helping other people make money and knowing how to coach, train, and lead people. That's a skill set that I ended up learning. I never knew that in that process, I would kind of allow my personal training and nutrition business to fall away. I couldn't have known that it was going to bring me into network marketing, which would have given me the opportunity, the connections, the skill set, the belief within myself to go start a freaking school. That when I got pregnant out of wedlock with some guy from the gym when I was 25 or whatever, that I would end up having these babies that I was meant to have, 2 boys back to back on purpose, so that I could see the complete contrast in their 2 personalities and see where the traditional system wasn't going to fit their needs, and how 2 totally opposite kids. One is so hyper focused. Hyper, what is it called? Like ADHD type of thing, but I don't like to call it that. But like he's so active. And then I have my other one who's so sensitive to energy. And so he would love learning, but he learns like he's very at his own pace and slow and like doesn't like to get up in the mornings and likes to have a slow day, where my other kid's the opposite. Like I was able to see 2 completely different personalities, and it's like, okay, how do I support these kids in learning in a way that's going to support them? And by having these 2 babies, it gave me the motivation, inspiration to create something to support them. I don't care about school that much, but it's like because of them, I do. And so now my next thing that I'm going to be doing in life, I never thought I'd be creating a school, but it's like, this is where everything that's happened in your life is part of your purpose. So not seeing your purpose as this one thing that never changes. Like it's always going to be evolving and changing. This is what I meant to do for this season right now. But like, I already know I'm going to be doing something else later. Like this is just what I meant to create right now. And how beautiful that we don't have to put ourselves in a box of something forever. Like we're going to evolve, we're going to change, we're going to have new interests and passions, and you get to go create based on that. Okay. Okay. That was a tangent. Anyways, then he was talking about like why you keep attracting an ex. It's because you have an issue honoring yourself. So if you continue attracting shitty people into your life, or the ex that you've said you don't want to be with, but he keeps coming back, it's because you don't know how to honor yourself. So, choosing, like when you know something is bad for you, you have to consciously avoid what you know is bad for you. So if you know the ex is bad for you, you have to be able to honor and choose yourself to not go back to the thing that's bad for you. And he compared it to crack. He's like, if you know smoking crack is bad for you, you're not going to keep going back to it. He's like, you have to see the ex or the food or the person or the situation or the job or whatever it is for you to choose yourself and honor yourself and never go back to that thing. And the reason that you continue to go back is because that pain body is living inside of you still. So until you move through and process that pain, it's going to keep pulling you back to that thing to cause the pain until you move through it, feel it, heal it, let go of it, or it will keep pulling it back to trigger that same pain until you're ready to release it. Cool, right? So the example with the ex was just showing you it's bringing you face to face with the pain that was already there for you, but now you get to choose how to finally stand up and honor yourself. So take that and apply it to whatever it is in your life. But like an example for that too could be like you're seeking love outside yourself because it was the love that you never had within you, or that your parents never showed you. So you think it's something that you need to find outside of you, but really deep down, it's something you needed to give yourself this whole time. And then where was this? I end up, so, okay. Our reactions determine our energy and our life. So think about that. The way you respond and react to anything that happens in your life is literally creating your life. So to be really, really, really mindful of how you react and respond to everything. Because if you react with anger, you're creating more anger. If you react, like a psycho, you're creating more chaos. Like it's so true. When you can like center and ground yourself before you respond or react, that's what you're going to get mirrored and projected back to you because of how you respond to a situation. Okay. Yeah. So this is also saying like how you treat your spouse in the way that the person who wounded you treated you. So typically what happens is the parent who wounded you the most is who you're going to treat your spouse as. So a lot of the time, like let's say take your mom or dad, whoever hurt you the most, it could be your grandma. The way they hurt you is a lot of the time how you're going to actually treat that person who's in your life. And it's meant to mirror you and help you move through that pain body. Okay, our life depends on our choices, and do we hold on, or can I learn to honor them in spite of us? Courage and conviction beyond logic. Okay, that was the deleting apps. I don't know where I got there. Okay, everything is energy. The way you treat the feminine is the way you treat life. So for men, especially, like understanding how you treat women is the way you treat life. It's really seeing that and seeing like how you need to honor the women in your life and love them and respect them is so essential to living a really, really great life. And then it was like, I'm the creator of my life and I get to decide. Really listening and understanding that, like you literally, your whole existence here is to create whatever you want. You're a creator. You get to create whatever it is you want. The world is your canvas. Go create whatever it is that you want in this life and understand that you have the power to do so. Gift of letting go. You get to choose that you have the gift of letting go and healing your heart. And this, I don't know where this is from, but I wrote, thank you for showing me what I deserve and showing the parts of myself I didn't honor. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and send love. So this part for like if you were to leave an ex or someone in your past who maybe really, really hurt you, to just say this little mantra prayer, like, thank you for showing me what I deserve and showing me the parts of myself I didn't honor. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and send love. So thinking of anyone who's ever hurt you, like never holding on. I'm reading The Mystic Jesus, and it talks about this too, how when you choose to forgive, it's letting go of that. Otherwise, that pain body stays within you, and the only person hurting is you. And so even though they may have done something to hurt you, understanding that like anyone who hurt you, there was a part of you that allowed that in. You weren't in a space to honor yourself. You didn't know how to protect your own heart. Trusting and knowing that like that was all intentional. And so having gratitude, because without that experience, you couldn't have seen those pieces of you. So having that, then I wrote, show me what within me has attracted blank. So you can ask this if you're like, what the hell? Like these guys keep showing up that suck, or like this situation keeps showing up that sucks. I'm just trying to think of different examples. Like you could be like, why do I keep attracting like shit cars? Or why do I keep attracting shit jobs? Or why do I keep attracting emotionally unavailable men? Like you can ask yourself, show me what within me has attracted emotionally unavailable men. And then trust that it will like come through your dreams, or when you're doing breath work or yoga, like it will show up. And I just wrote this part for myself, that I had to find my own worth before I could embody self-worth and show my daughter. I really believe as a woman, like, because typically what happens is your daughters will learn, even all your kids, they learn what self-worth is and the importance of self through how the mother treats themselves. And I feel like for myself, especially, like I had to learn to honor and understand men, true, and like learn to trust men and love them. And like, that's why I think I had boys. But then for a daughter, I know I'm going to have a daughter in the future. And I feel like it was because I needed to really, truly understand and learn how to honor myself and truly know my self-worth before ever having a daughter, because as moms, we pass along our self-worth to our kids. And so if I didn't fully see my self-worth, then I'm raising another generation of a daughter or girls who also don't understand their self-worth. Okay. You can only let other people be free when you finally feel free within yourself. Whatever you're afraid of is what is used to control and limit you. So identify what you're afraid of and move directly through that so that it can no longer control and limit you, and get to know what your deepest fears are. So truly ask yourself, like, what is my deepest fear? What am I most afraid of? One of my things that comes up is like, you'll end up being alone. You'll never find someone. I know it's not true. I know it's not logical, but deep down there is a fear of not finding a person. And it's not even a real fear I have anymore, but this was from when I was little. And so I feel like my whole life I was like, who's my boyfriend going to be? Who's my husband going to be? And I was like panicked about like making sure I had someone, which is really interesting. So, okay. Then we talked about separation. What we feel deep inside of us is what we create outside of us. So whatever you're feeling inside manifests in your physical reality. It could show up around your body. It could show up in your love life. It could show up in your house. It could show up in your job. But whatever you're feeling inside is what you allow and create around you. So if you feel like shit, you're going to attract a shitty partner. If you don't feel like you love yourself, you're not going to attract love to your life. If you don't feel like you're worthy of abundance, or you don't feel like you have any worth about yourself, you're going to attract a job that never pays you what you're worth, things like that. So really knowing that what you feel within you is what is creating the outside of you. And when you shift what's happening within you, the world around you starts to shift. And really understanding and knowing that. Okay. Okay, wait. Yeah, how if you don't have money in abundance, it's because something deep inside of you didn't feel worthy of it. And that's the only reason you don't have it. So understanding too, like a lot of the time money issues do stem from your parents and what the conditioning that you were kind of grown up around. So identifying that, understanding it, and then knowing that you can choose differently. Also understanding that your emotional body absorbs the pain of your household. So as kids, we love our parents so much that if we feel like they're in pain, we'll hold it and try to take their pain away because we love them. And so we'll store it within our body. And so there could be your emotional body, your pain body could be actually holding a ton of stuff that's not yours, that's still leaking and leaching into your life right now because you haven't processed and moved through a lot of that pain that was being caused around you. Understanding and seeing that if I don't invest in myself, it's a sign I'm afraid I'll never reach the full potential of my life. So you need to get over the fear of investing in yourself. Spend money on you. It's one of the best things that you can spend money on. The logical mind thinks of the costs, and you want to be the person who is afraid of you don't want to be the person who's afraid of the fact that you're afraid of the cost. Okay. I don't know what this says, but yeah. So logical mind thinks it's the cost that's holding you back, but it's actually because you're the person who's afraid of the cost that's holding you back. Does that make sense? So it's like seeing it, the fact that it's never actually the cost. It's that you have a fear of the cost. So as soon as you transcend that and move through it, the cost no longer matters. Yeah, another part that he said that was so good, like when people are giving you breadcrumbs, especially if you're a woman in dating, you need to get pissed off that you're even in the vicinity of someone who would give you breadcrumbs. And then that's when you return to the buffet, is what he said, which I was like, that was really good. Denny was just like, you have to have the courage to start the business. And I wrote, the school, you just have to do it and start. I knew this, and I got this hit while I was there that it was like, okay, it's go time. And so I came home and I literally acted on it immediately, which is kind of cool. Okay. And then he was also like, if you haven't taken action in something, you don't take action because you haven't allowed yourself to envision and decide what you really want, that and in order to help you align on your actions. So, okay. I wrote down, if you guys want to hear about my breath work, I feel like this could be kind of cool. So I'll go through my breath work. I feel like that was a really great day one recap. And essentially from there, I just want to read these pieces to you. But what I wrote down, and this is a question you can ask yourself, what is the highest vision for your life? And I started thinking about this before I even went into breath work. I was like, the vision for my life is to have full trust within myself, to make all decisions to propel me toward my life's purpose. I know I'm meant to create radical change and push the narrative of the status quo. I have the highest vision of the healthiest version of myself in my body and my well-being, and a healthy, loving relationship and partnership. It's effortless abundance by living in my truth of exactly who I am as I am. Trusting all things are possible, eliminating this imaginary glass ceiling we place upon ourselves. Divine is limitless, so stop trying to do anything with my own energy and tap into theirs. When you do this, you become limitless because you're utilizing a limitless, uncapped, anything is possible energy source. When people say you are God or one with God, allow God to do it. Let go and let God. It's trying to teach you that concept that like you really do have a higher power that's supporting you. You don't need to do it all yourself. Envision, decide, and declare what you want and trust them to show up and provide it for you. If you keep trying to control, there's no faith and surrender. That's the force. You think that your force is way greater, and you need to understand that God's force is way greater than what you'll ever be able to provide. And learning to trust outside yourself for the first time, rather than thinking and staying in the story of that I have to do it all myself. Open to trusting and allowing the higher power, my angels, Jesus, whoever, to show me and work through me with whatever they want to see, to teach me. I trust it. I trust you. I'm open and ready to receive anything, any messages you have to support me in the next phase of my life, the soul's purpose. Please show me the truth of who I am and what I'm meant to create next. If I need to like delete the dating apps to bring in my partner, which is so funny because that came through really, really big, and just saying, I know I'm ready to trust you and I'm ready to surrender. That was my entry level before I went into breath work. Okay. This was like one of my first takeaways. Until they protect your heart, they don't get access to your body. You have always been a healer of men, but you thought, what did I say? But they confuse intimacy with sex. And because they confuse intimacy with sex, I've confused intimacy in a romantic relationship, thinking that I needed to have sex. This is my writing. My writing is crazy. And so anyways, I was like, until they've proven that they protect your heart, they do not get access to your body. You get to decide if and when, who, yeah, I don't know what that says. Then I wrote about motherhood, mom, and the feminine side. And I basically was taken through seeing my mom as a little girl and how clearly mean and abusive her dad was, and how it could have led to feelings of unworthiness, not feeling special, chosen, or valued. Like, how could you ever feel special, chosen, or valued when your dad never saw you or loved you, or felt chosen or loved by their father? She learned to swallow up her feelings and voice instead of speaking her mind because she never saw her mom speak her mind or use her value. So it brought me through like that whole lineage, which I've never been so clearly brought through in my mom's side of things. Like my mom's mom, my mom's dad, like that whole lineage of like the motherhood, the mom, the feminine side, it really brought me through all of that. And showed me how literally my grandma came through and showed me how that exact situation was perfect to show me exactly what I needed to overcome to heal those generations. So for example, not speaking up, my grandma never spoke up about like anything. guess who's speaking up now? Like me, I'm so loud and I talk about everything. I have a freaking podcast. And so just showing how like those things are essential in the lineage to get you to the place where you're able to move through the thing that they maybe couldn't move through in their lifetime. And so it showed me, I was able to see her, that I was here to stop the lineage of women just honoring and not loving themselves. Something about I failed to see my worth or use my voice because of what I saw. I don't really know what that's about. And then basically that I get to heal the men's side by honoring like the dad and man side and ending that cycle by loving and honoring my boys and myself. And by choosing never to allow an unloving man or emotionally unavailable men around myself. And seeing how like unloving that is. So to allow someone around you who is emotionally unavailable and not loving is not honoring or caring about yourself, and that it's being one of the most unloving things that you could do to yourself. So understanding like creating firm boundaries around that, and that having to like protect and guide your own heart fiercely is the most precious gift, and not allowing unloving men around me. Whatever. Okay. Then I clearly saw this. Okay. You have absolute certainty and knowing that no logic or thing within this world is necessary. I don't know what that is. But anyways, by December 26th, I saw myself pregnant and that it was going to come in and heal with a daughter, come through. And it was supposed to heal the lineage of the feminine in the mother, the grandma. And it was literally my mom's mom there, like bibbity bobbity boo over my head, like going through all of these things super, super quickly. Showing me all of this stuff, which was so freaking cool. And every time I feel a need for something, I need to just go inward and feel, because they're there all the time to support you. So every time you're starting to feel like you need to grab something from this world, go sit in stillness alone and meditate, and you'll realize like everything you had was inside of you. You just needed to connect with yourself. And literally I saw my grandma as like a fairy godmother, and that she was a spirit guide. And like, that was the first time I've ever seen an ancestor so clearly there, which was really, really cool. And then I kind of went through some of my notes here. Sorry, I should have just read you guys these. Setting intentions in the service of positive change is your responsibility, and you must show goodwill. This is like some of the stuff I wrote after my breath work. And I had a vision of knowing I was giving God potential, but I had to let go of the I need to do it all story and trust and allow the divine to actually help me do it and align it for me. It opened me to other unknown dimensions, and trusting that behind the tangible world, there's another reality, one you're ready to explore, which again, it was telling me to delete all the dating apps and trust divine guidance will lead me there. And when you stop worrying about the how, the solutions always appear through synchronicities, and have fun and do something new, and trust that the universe is going to co-create for you. And so I just went through and I asked myself, like, what do you really want? And I started writing all of that down. Then we went through like the emotional chart. You guys know. Let me just see. Day 2's breath work. My writing gets crazy, by the way. Okay. Yeah, letting go and trusting. I saw the Tibetan jungle, so if any of you guys understand why I'm supposed to be there, let me know. Yeah, allowing myself the space to just be me. This is something that I really learned. When I get to just sit with my own energy, that is when I feel the most peace and magnetism. And I feel like, I don't even really know if I want to read much else of this, but it really showed me how for so many of us, we think we need to do stuff. And I used to feel this way too. But I've realized that our biggest power source is actually when we sit in stillness, connect with our mind, emotions, our thoughts, and we're able to realize like the most aligned single action forward rather than the jumbled busyness of our mind. And so I used to think like, I need to do this and I need to do that and I have so much to do. And I'm like, no, the most important thing when you're feeling like that is like to get out of your mind into your body, connect with yourself, and go basically tune into you. And so I was able to see so clearly how like I actually am the most magnetic, peaceful version of myself when I get into a meditative state with myself. I never used to understand the power. Now I get it. Like I understand rest. I understand tuning everything out. I understand taking off my phone. I understand tuning into me. Like I know that's one of the most powerful things I can do. And I used to think like, this is such a waste of time. I'm not doing anything. But it's like the most powerful thing you can do is like co-create with like God's source, essentially, is what it was showing me. And it's like when you tune in with you have a direct connection to that. You get to like co-create it, and then it makes life easy. You don't have to do as much. So not just like, I'm going to manifest this, and then you're not connected. Like you do need to create this like deep, solid, grounded, centered connection with yourself and God and universe, whatever. And that's when the magic happens. So I was able to really, really see that. And that the blessings just begin to come to you. And okay, so blessings from, okay, yeah. So I think I was trying to write like the blessings from the earth come, blessings from that come to your mind, come from Father Sky, ask and you shall receive. I don't know. Okay. Nourishment, health of the body. I don't know what this is saying, but basically nourishing the health of the body are met. Okay. Nourishment and your body and the health of your physical body are met by honoring and respecting Mother Earth. And then when we respect and honor the physical, we're blessed by the invisible. This is what I was trying to write down. So when we respect and honor the physical, we're blessed by the invisible. How good is that? Like I wrote that down. And I was like, oh, I get it. So when you respect and honor the physical, meaning your body, the earth, this 3D planet we're on, that's when you are blessed by the invisible. So you need to care about your body as like a number one priority. And then that's when you get the blessings because they're like, she gets it. You're honoring your vessel. They've talked about this in every type of spiritual history. Yeah. So honor the body, the land, all of it, and you'll be blessed by the sky. Okay. They all work together. And I pretty much wrote, you won't be blessed by the invisible until you begin to honor, love, and respect the physical. Boom. Yeah. Another one about the body. I saw that I needed to create a Instagram page for my podcast so that I can keep just like posting tons of clips and not blowing up my own personal Instagram. I was able to see having a retreat space and hosted dinners, creating connection and compassion, that my land is sacred and to hold space for that. Yeah, and then I saw a pyramid and an eye. I don't really know what that was. And yeah, showing unconditional love. Okay, we're going to just move through that. Understanding that you get to create your life. Your love life is conditioning. What is this? Okay, so yeah, I was able to see. Okay, what are the ways you mistreat yourself? When you let go of this, you will attract the dream partner into your life. Sorry, this one's kind of like you guys are really moving along with me as I read these notes. But basically, it says what you need to let go of in order to have the loving relationship. How you talk to yourself and the way you treat and honor yourself is the way a partner will treat you and honor you. When you connect with light and divinity within you, the partner will show up. I don't know where these notes are from, by the way. And then it says, is love hard? No. So why would a relationship, business, or money be hard? They should never be hard. They should be easy. So I'm going to read that again. So what do you need to let go of in order to have the loving relationship? Okay. So like whether it's your current partnership, a future partnership, whatever, it's how you talk to yourself, and the way you treat and honor yourself is the way a partner will treat and honor you. When you connect with the light and divinity within you, that's when the partner shows up. So when you, because think about it, do you really want to attract a partner while you're still like, oh my God, you're so fat and ugly, and like being mean to yourself? No. So you want to get that right within you, centered and grounded, and then connect, know how to connect with like divinity, light, God, whatever. That's when you're going to attract a mirroring partner that's like at the same frequency. Okay. And then a question that I asked myself, and you guys could ask yourself this, are what are ways you mistreat yourself? Getting really clear on that. Like, what are the ways that you mistreat yourself? And then, yeah, honoring that. So, I was able to see that I've been blocking the love that my parents have been trying to give me the whole time. So I'm the one who put up the walls. I'm the one who blocked it out. No wonder I can't receive love all the time, because I don't let it in. It's me. And for me to learn to receive and allow and let it in, that I need to also, the first thing I can do before a partner can come in and do that is I need to let my mom and dad back in. And even though I know like they're kind of in, I've like had a little like of a, right. And so it's like, let them love me. They want to love me, let them. That I could feel I needed to heal the deep barrier I've created and be vulnerable and share with each other, so that by being vulnerable and sharing that, we can each receive that love. And then I was able to be like, imagine my kids blocking me from loving them. Like that would be so hurtful. So like for you as a child, think about your parent. I understand sometimes we need healthy boundaries and whatever, but I was like, imagine my kids like not letting me love them. That would be so hard as a parent. And I was able to see it from that perspective for my parents, where I'm like, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's like, they just want to love you. And then they don't even know what to do. And I was like, oh shit, that's me. So I was able to see that, let go of any resentment that I'm feeling with anybody, forgive them. And I really did feel like I forgave them in the breath work. Understanding that your parents are always just doing their best. So like, don't hold them to this like God standard. Like they're really just doing their best. And I realized like in certain situations, I 100% make myself blocked, unapproachable, and defensive. And that's what I do when I'm hurt. And when I'm hurt, I'm unable to receive it, and they're unable to give me the love that they deserve, but also that I deserve. And how much in situations when I'm hurt, that's what I'll do. I'll stonewall and like block everything away from me. And so I was able to see that that's what I used to do a lot of. I don't feel like I do it much anymore, but like I was definitely blocking my own heart. I was able to see that I want to book like a family vacay and create more quality time together. And then I really feel like I want to bring my parents to Awaken. So that came through too. And yeah, that's pretty much that. So this past Awaken, those are some of my key takeaways I wanted to share. And if you have thought about going, 100% you need to go. Like it is so unbelievably powerful. The energy, like I knew I needed to be there because I was like, every time I'm in Miami, I just feel like so much abundance. I'm like, there's so much freaking wealth and money here. We are playing so effing small where we live in Canada. Like it's hard to keep myself on that train of knowing what is possible for my life. And so going there, being around those people, being around the energy was just so amazing. And connecting with all of them. So yeah, I just love it. And I would just say to you, if you don't have something in your life that holds you accountable to a higher standard and you keep going back to your traditional settings of where you live, you are going to struggle to maintain the vision. So you need to have things that you can plug into and tune into to hold you to the vision that you know you could create. Because otherwise it's so easy to fall back into your old patterns of life. So I will leave it at that. Sorry, that was a little choppy because I was reading my notes. But I know there's still wisdom that you guys end up taking from stuff like this. And so I would just say my overall arching themes for it were to treat yourself with the love and respect you know you deserve, and like figure out how you can love yourself better and honor your body more. And when you learn to honor yourself, that's when you begin to receive more blessings. So master that for yourself, take care of yourself. And then in addition to that, trusting and knowing like you need to protect yourself, your body, your heart. And until a man, if you're single, shows you that your heart is safe, protected, and cared for by them, don't give up your body. It's just too sacred. I really feel that and believe that. And then knowing that all the love that you're wanting in life, you could literally be blocking from yourself because you're guarded and you're afraid and you don't let people in. So really seeing where you have done that. I know I've blocked people out in the past. And so taking ownership for that, not blaming anybody else, like really seeing, oh shit, this is me, and being okay in that and not having to be defensive anymore and be like, yeah, that was my defense mechanism. Okay. How are you going to move through it? How are you going to let people love you? And just like taking time to be with yourself, understanding that like the meditation time, the time alone, those things are so critical and crucial to be with yourself and understand that your peace, your magnetism, your power comes from your connection to you. So every time you're feeling rattled and like wanting to scroll and wanting to do things and like wanting to stay busy all the time, it's like, whoa, you're falling back into that pattern and you're actually out of your power. When you're like that, tuning back into your power is reconnecting to you. So with that, thank you for being here. I hope there was at least some type of learning from this, since I was pausing and reading and trying to share my notes, which is a little jumbled. But I hope that was helpful. I cannot recommend Awaken enough. Like, stop thinking about the money and just get your butt there. It's so worth it. The money will come back to you. It always does when you invest in yourself. And it's one of the most powerful events I have ever been to. And the coolest thing about this one was there were so many men there that were not with their wives, which just showed me more and more men are out here doing this work, working on themselves, healing, and wanting to. So if you're a woman out there doing the work, just trust me, there were all these men there. And it was just so cool to see how much they're wanting to do this too. So believe in your men, trust in your men, and trust that there's men out there doing the work. So never settle for anything less, and encourage your men to come with you to the event too. Okay. Love you guys. See you in the next episode.